Sunday Street.
Welcome to Sunday Street, the Poppin' Ass Podcast. Cooler host on the Coast Bar. Yo, I'm here with my homegirl.
It's Drina, your co-host with the most information. The host that Drina finds out.
What up, brother? Welcome back.
What's going on? It's nephew Courtney. I'm just here existing.
What's going on, Courtney? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Man, you see me at the pop-up shop.
I ain't seen you on here.
That didn't count. We're talking about the streets right now.
Oh yeah, I'm producing other shows of mine. He knows, got a lot of work.
As long as you out
We
here
got people
working.
lined up to sit down. It's just time, and people been,
We're recreating the vibes for the sit down.
Yeah. This is definitely my first recording in the new space. So
To tell y'all the truth, I feel like after the pop-up shop and planning the brunch, I feel like this is like season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah. Season 2.
What better way than start off? Did y'all get y'all PPP loan? Did y'all make the list?
I'm
Working on it. Think I ain't working on it. You a fool.
The streets, bitch. I don't understand why people care so much about what other people do with their money.
I don't know.
Why do it matter? You do not got to pay this back or go to jail.
I've been so happy for a dog to get some money. I don't give a damn if you rob for it.
I don't care.
I know that sounds crazy, but
As long as I don't got to pay the money back, I don't care what you do.
me neither. It ain't my
And as long as I ain't got to go to jail for it. Just don't put me down as a reference if you're doing some illegal stuff.
Well, you put me down for a reference.
Don't put me down.
I'm with it. Bro's a good employee while he works with me. Anyway, speaking of PPPs, Drina, what's up? Drina finds out.
Drina finds out, Drina finds out is in the streets, and then I'm working with Street Geeks because we putting a brunch together. The Sunday Street brunch, but it's happening on a Saturday.
But we're going to give y'all details about this brunch later. Brunch going to be the dopest shit to see there.
People are excited. We have a link we're going to add to this episode where to purchase tickets because the streets is definitely asking about it.
And I'm 100% positive the brunch is going to be beyond people's expectations.
I think so.
I'm excited to put on some clothes. I ain't been in church in a minute. Or last time I put on some clothes for real was like, champagne jam or, I feel like I'm going to the award show.
Bro, I'm glad you said that really because I didn't feel the need to tell people gotta dress like this. I think it's like understood. You gotta put your good clothes on.
Elevated vibes. Think like
we need some popping ass
niggas
TikTok
coming in
shit. We need
niggas
TikTok
come in
shit.
Jabos now.
Think they won't? They pay their fee.
they pay their money. I mean, we ain't gonna stop them.
Eat.
The camera will be there though, so
Everybody eat.
don't get caught slipping.
Pay your money, you eat.
Right.
Buffet, bottomless mimosas. That's all the details we got right now. We're back to the sit down. But we're jumping back off the porch, brother.
Oh man, I don't like to even speak it like that because the weather could go crazy. But we got Shrug like Friday.
Gotcha, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my partner Jug.
I talked to some more people. Got some things in the works. I don't want to feel like
People been asking me like, man, what coordinate, man? You on coordinate great?
Oh.
Yeah, that's brother.
Oh man, yeah, been working, been going
Stay
through
active.
37, going through a midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta let you deal with it, but we stay active though. But speaking of staying active, we went out to
The Spring Fling Pop-Up Shop yesterday.
I'm gonna say Spring Fling like
They had a great turnout.
It was dope.
Even though it was raining, like they did really good yesterday.
Yeah.
The people that I talked to, they all sold out.
Yep, I think it was playing well with the DJ and Tabari hosting. Shout out to Tabari.
Shout out to Tabar and Jay-Z
Tabari got things
94.5.
working. But that's for another time too. We working, man.
Actually, Tabar is going to be a sponsor of the brunch. So yeah.
Giving that too.
Giving out too much information. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But back to the pop-up shop. We had some friends of the show that were there.
Yeah.
Brittany Taylor with A Taste of Decadence. Olivia with Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
Had everybody lit.
Shout out Jennifer Harvey.
Shout out Jennifer Harvey because she she need to be a host. She need to find her way. Like that's her thing in life.
Full family of natural born comedians.
Right. A whole family of them.
But we took the camera, so we'll get into a couple clips, couple highlights. Nothing. Just let me do it myself.
That was it.
We'll be right back.
Oh.
Yeah, that was us at the pop-up shop. We got to sample a few items, you know what I'm saying, and I got to thumb through a lot of things.
I had a good time, man.
I spent money I did not plan on spending. I'm glad I went though.
We spent our money with a little.
I seen a lot of spending money on alcohol. Alcohol always sells, but I seen a lot of cool items, a lot of earrings, a lot of
One thing I noticed from the pop-up shop, it was pretty much only women.
Right.
Like what a man at.
Right. Need some men that we need some nappy beards. We need McKinley Newsom. He need to pull up. We need Lutz to pull
I know a lot of
up.
men business on. Didn't they start doing them type of
Where y'all at? We need Royal.
Oh, Royal. Yeah.
Royal
Shout out my
Aura.
partner did it.
Scents and fragrances. We
But-
need it was another one, but yeah. We need all y'all to come out
That's
next
enough
time.
shout outs on the
That's
street.
enough.
But anyway,
It was cool
today,
though. It was a dope event. Though.
It was.
today we had another guest. We always keep guests on the streets. My partner Abra talked about his book and mentoring young black youth.
Author and mentor Abra Taylor, to those of you that don't know him.
Outreach Leadership Program. I said
Gulf Coast Outreach and Leadership.
word. And we talked about a lot of stuff, man. And we'll get into that too.
Welcome back, and we have joining us our friend Abra Taylor, who is an author of the new book, Empowering Black Youth Through Mentoring.
You couldn't get that out. What's up, brother?
What's up? Thank y'all for having me.
Anytime.
Thank you for coming, Abra.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
You came back with that product for me.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I wanted to come on. I wanted to say, because I got the book, like last week?
Last week.
I wanted to come on and say, bro, I read the book and need some key points that, no. Yeah, but you know why I haven't read it. Like I just been neglecting it. So you know why, but.
Haven't read it yet. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, just with reading in general, a lot of times we tend to get too busy a lot of times, and so we tend not to read. I got 2 books at home that I started reading, and they're in the middle of the book, and I hadn't finished them yet. So that happens, and which is honestly one of the reasons why when I wrote this book, I purposely made it not as long, because I didn't want to kind of steer people. I guess to kind of steer them away from not wanting to read it. So by making it short, when it's something short, people are more prone to read it versus, something so long. So that's just like an article.
Yeah, read
or on social media, somebody will post something so long, and then you be like, man, I'm not about to read all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if they read something, if it's just something short and straight to the point, you know what I mean? You're going to read it. And so that was one of the reasons why I made it the size that it is.
Yeah, I read this in one sit down, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people that don't know, Abra is a part of Gulf Coast Outreach and Leadership, and they have a few different components to that. And one of those is the League of Distinguished Gentlemen, where you do you and about 4 other guys. Shout out to all of them. We ain't gonna mention everybody's name, but y'all know who y'all are.
We told them before.
Right. So I know that y'all do mentoring for guys from 7 through.
Yes.
Is there an age cap on it?
Yeah. So it's actually 6th grade through high school. We do the mentoring program. And I'll go ahead and shout out the co-founder. So, which is myself, Jeremiah Mormon, Darren McInnes, Jordan Beard, and also Red Morgan.
Shout out to all of them.
We actually started our mentoring program back in 2015, and of course, because all of us are African American, typically, those are the guys that's kind of drawn to us, is African American guys. So, which when we first created it, it wasn't necessarily just for African American boys. It was for all young boys, just boys in general. But of course, we have a majority African American boys, and we do actually have one Caucasian kid part of our program. But all in all, it's at the end of the day, like my mission and my goal is always to impact the youth, because the youth is our future. Although this book is empowering Black youth through mentoring, I'm an advocate for all youth. But black youth in general, just because me being black, I know the disadvantages of that we facing, and also, you know, me growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, Mario as well.
You're just more prone to help people.
You know, right? You know, and I know some of the disadvantages that we have, and now that I'm kind of like, I guess, on the other side of that, I see the difference in you know, when it as it pertains to African American and Caucasian and some of the other races.
The opportunities are different.
Right, a lot different.
And the circumstances.
Yeah, and so you know, like in this book here, Empowering Black Youth Through Mentoring, one of the points that I was making was encouraging more black men to actually step up to mentor black boys, young black boys. I personally feel like with mentoring is one of those kind of things, especially for us as African Americans. You know, I say this all the time, like, honestly, slavery has affected us in so many ways, even now, although we far away from it. But, you know, just like you can have generational wealth, you can also have generational issues, you know,
and trauma.
And so I feel like with mentoring is one of those ways of kind of repairing the mind, and you know, just like with, you know, people that go in the military, you know, they suffer from PTSD, but I feel like some African Americans, we suffer from PTSD too, from slavery.
Right.
And so with mentoring, and you exposing, you know, these young guys to different things other than what they see every day, and kind of get them out of the normal circle that's what's normal to them, and kind of get them outside that circle, you know, I think it'll help them in the long run. And so that was the whole point of basically the purpose of the whole book, and that's basically what the message is.
I think that it also adds like a reassurance, like, you know, like you have this core group of people that you've been raised with, and like it's kind of like when your mama tell you your artwork is good, you don't really believe it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So just to add, bringing that in, and not have another group, not just one male figure, but a whole group of them,
Right.
to know that, and then the community that comes behind that, to
Right.
know that these people, you know, in your corner.
Right.
I think it's an added aspect of it.
I be wanting to ask the crazy questions. Where you was at when you took this picture? Where you take this picture at, bro?
So my wife friend, Erica Brown, she's a photographer, and she actually has a studio that's set up in her house, and so I did the photo there.
Who came up with the concept?
Me.
I know.
Me all the way, you know what I mean?
That's dope though.
Yeah,
That's why I asked.
and with the crown, you know, that's, you know, for me, what that crown represents is a representation of empowerment. And so, you know, me handing, you know, the youth, you know, this is your crown, you know, put this on, you know, and just empowering the youth. So that's
dope. That's why it stuck out to me. In the poem, at the beginning,
Yeah.
I skimmed through it. I think I read like the first couple of pages. I was like, man, bro, on the way.
Yeah.
Let me skim through it.
And so with, you know, the whole thing with poetry, man, I'm not a poet. I'm not, you know, it took me months to even put that together. You know what I mean? And so my wife, she actually went through the basically, because my wife is an English major, so she went through, did all the editing to make sure all my grammar is right. I'm country and I'm from the hood, so my grammar ain't always what it should be. You know, a lot
Sometimes
of
I write how I talk.
right. Yeah, me too. You know what I mean?
Especially in the text.
Yeah. And
Social media area.
And so, like, you know, with my wife, so she went through just make sure all the grammar and everything was correct. And so, as she was reading the poem, she was like, "Hey, but this is awesome." You know, I was like, I appreciate it, but it took me a long time to put that poem together. And so, but yeah, it's, you know, but she was a huge piece in terms of just making sure all the editing and everything was right, because like, so the company that I actually use to do my self-publishing, they offer an option to where they go through and do the editing for you. But the thing about it, they give you a sample. They do the first 150 words. They sample for the edits. And so as I went through and looked at the sample, I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying, because it was changing what I was saying, you know what I mean? The way I wrote it, that's how I wanted it to be said. And so I didn't go with their editing services, which I just had my wife just go through and just make sure.
You made sure to put that in the acknowledgements. So, you know, some of this is gonna be pretty strong language.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not, curse words. But
Yeah, it is one cuss word in there. I
ain't get to that point.
Yeah, it's I can't remember what chapter, but as a matter of fact, it was actually a situation that happened to us when we was our freshman year in college.
Why? You should have. Well, I should have had to sign up.
You know what I'm saying? We actually got harassed by the police. We was in social.
Oh, I remember.
My car broke down. My car broke down on the side of the road.
We weren't always tight either.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I ain't gonna go into detail about it. You just gotta, purchase the book, and you'll see it in that chapter. But we actually at that particular time, and then I think back on it, man, and just looking at all the stuff that's happening now, a lot of African Americans being killed and murdered unarmed. Honestly, man, that really could have been one of them kind of situations.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
We was hard-headed, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Because in that like we pulled over, like it's super dark, that kind of thing. I think if it was either just one or two of us, we probably wouldn't have made it that night.
I'm talking back to the police, crazy.
And then, but not only just that though, but you remember he hit Eric in the head with the flashlight, and Eric asked him, he was like, "Sir, what about our rights?" That guy, and so, but it was a crazy situation. But again, it's in the book. Purchase the book. I kind of went in a little bit more detailed about it. But yeah,
that's what a curse word is.
No, I said exactly what the officer said.
Oh, okay.
The officer said, "F your rights." When Eric asked him,
you don't gotta give the book away.
What about our rights? And Eric, the officer said,
I'm gonna have to read this book because I probably should have.
Eric said, "F your rights." The police officer, yeah.
I saw my name in there one time.
So, that story to me, I know like we can laugh about it, but like you said, it's a very serious matter. Mm-hmm. But I think laughing about
have sons, hell yeah, that's it.
I think laughing about stuff like that is how we as African Americans have always like gotten through everything.
Right.
So we make a joke out of everything, but it'd be like real traumatic experience when you sit back and be like, man, that could have really went left.
You know what's the crazy part about
laugh
this
to keep from crying.
Yeah.
As soon as we got out this situation, we still went to the club. We went right to the club right after that.
So who is your target audience for the book?
Really everybody, to be honest with you. And again, the main message is for older black men and also young black boys, and for black men basically to take these young black boys under their wing, because you have a lot of young African American kids that's grown up without their parents in the household, and so they don't really have a positive role model to look up to, and so I think that's so important. Even with me, my upbringing, I grew up with my mom and my dad, and I grew up in a good household. My dad is a pastor and that kind of thing, but but the environment we grew up in, once I got outside my parents' doors, I was exposed to a lot of different things, which is why, at an early age, I kind of took a different route and did, a lot of stuff, and I also put that in there. Got in some trouble, got kicked out at Perk, for got in some legal problems, situation like that. But then as I got older, like all the teachings that my parents did teach me, it finally started to click.
Yeah. Especially
once I got in trouble, and then that trouble when I got kicked out, when I got into the legal trouble at Perk and got kicked out my freshman year, that's when the light bulb went off. I was like, man, if I get jammed up again, at the time my oldest son, he was 3 months old, so and so I was like, man, it's one of the situations.
3 months,
yeah. So he was, and so it would have been one of them situations. Or what I was thinking was, this could potentially be another black boy growing up without his father, and following those kind of statistics. And so at that point, that's when I was like, man, I gotta do something different. And then just so happened, a couple months after that, I got a phone call from like an old job at that particular time to call me in to come work. This was right after Katrina. This was 2005, so you remember everything was like,
right.
And so, but this happened in 2006 actually. And so as I'm working, I'm like, man, shit, I can kind of I can feed my son, even though it ain't, the fast money.
Right.
But I can still take care of my family and take care of myself at that particular time. And so, that's the route that I took. And then I also went back to school because when I got kicked out of college, I was actually, so the dean told me don't step foot on the campus ever again. He told me personally, don't come back on the campus. So I couldn't go to PERC, JD, the JD campus in Jackson County. I don't know if they're still there, but he told me I couldn't go to any of those. And so even when I got kicked out too, my GPA dropped. So I couldn't go to any other university because, like most universities, the minimum GPA is a 2.0. And so my GPA, when I got kicked out, it dropped down to 1.7. And so there was only one college that actually gave me an opportunity, and I ain't gonna state what college it is. If you know me, you know what college I graduated from. But that particular college, that university gave me an opportunity, and they just put me on academic probation. And honestly, that was really the first time I ever really, besides elementary, like kindergarten to third, I was all about my grades. And then after third grade on, just, I was just trying to get out of school. But when I got that opportunity to go back to college, I really took it serious. And like I was on honor roll all the way up until the time I graduated, got my bachelor's degree.
It don't take nothing but a little effort.
Yeah, that's all, and then growing up too, man. And so, I matured a lot and because I guess because I did all the, prior to me getting in trouble, like we did so much stuff at a young age.
Stop including me in what we did. I'm on the streets now.
He don't never want me to say our age. He don't want me to never say none of that.
Listen, y'all. To everybody out there, it's a whole new me. All that other shit is dead.
Prior to that,
I don't know that person.
You need to write a book. You need to write a book about it.
I don't want to.
Write a book about it.
It's dead. I'm gonna ask everyone his light bulb.
But yeah, so we have grown. We've grown and we've come a long way, and and that was one of the reasons why I actually put you in this book, because just seeing the growth and just seeing,
I'm talking shit. I appreciate my past.
And this platform, for you to have this particular platform, man, because it speaks volumes for not only for yourself, but it also highlights a lot of other small businesses, local businesses that
really
don't necessarily get the highlight.
The same purpose, like you say, for you, while you mentor.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had something like this when I was first just trying to get my little shit together. Mm-hmm. It wasn't available. I was reaching out to people to just hang out, pick your brain a little bit. Right. Joker was telling me, get away from that. But now they look for me. So I appreciate it.
So for the people that want to be inspired, that want to get an idea of how to start mentoring, where can they purchase your book from?
You can either go to Archway Publishing. Archway Publishing, that's the company that I use to actually self-publish my book. You can also go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. There's some other internet sites as well that you can find this book as well.
But eventually you're gonna be able to go on the streets and find it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yep. As a matter of fact, so I actually had, a few on hand. I actually just did an event in Georgia, and I came straight off the road to here.
We appreciate you.
Giving me a hard time because I come in here late, but
we appreciate you.
But yeah, I actually just came back from Georgia. I was invited to an event over there, pop-up shop, and it went well. And I'm grateful for the opportunity because I was just able to kind of network with some people that I never met before, and learn them, and they learn me, and bring a little bit of that Mississippi twang over there to Atlanta, and yeah.
Sounds good to me, bro. Well, we're gonna make it work, and eventually the Joker can come get the book from the streets.
Yeah, no doubt.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate
every time, bro.
I appreciate having me. Thank you. Thanks so much.
This episode is sponsored by Martell.
No.
I keep telling y'all about these goddamn shout outs on the street. This episode is sponsored by Street Geeks.
And drug funded by Martell. They want to be sipping on. You know what I'm saying?
Martell show love to the street. But anyway, shout out to Abra for coming through and putting on for the community, showing the youth some love.
Shout out to Jaleesa Stewart for putting together the Spring Fling Pop-Up Shop yesterday.
Most definitely.
I'm sure she'll have something else coming up.
Shout out to Drina for planning the brunch and getting us going.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man.
I'm looking forward to some of them.
I'm excited.
You gotta pull out your your Sunday clothes.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
It's gonna be dope.
Until then, man, we'll see y'all next week.